Welcome to English Without Limits. In today's lesson, we're going to learn how to describe actions a little bit more. We know about adjectives. They tell us what things are like. An adjective describes an object or a person. But an adverb describes a verb. It tells us how something was done, or why something was done in some cases. Today, we're going to look at the verbs that tell us how something is done. We call these adverbs of manner. They're important because sometimes it's not enough to know that something was done. We want to know more. We want to know how it was done. I hope you enjoy the lesson. In our last lesson, we practiced listening. Do you remember that? Do you remember the name of the story? The story was called, do you remember? The Princess and the Pea. We practiced listening to it and answering questions about it. I hope you enjoyed listening to that story last time and maybe acting it out afterwards. Let's join the class as they review that story.
All right, good afternoon. How are you guys today? Good. So we're going to review our story that I just read you not that long ago.
Yes,
So, what was the name of the story?
The Princess and the Pea.
Aha, The Princess and the Pea. And what was the prince looking for?
For a princess.
Princess. Yes. And what are some of the other characters in the story?
King, queen, and serving, and
So we had the king and queen.
Prince and princess.
Pea.
Sound effects.
Yes. Where was the setting? What's the setting?
It's a kingdom,
Kingdom?
castle.
Castle? What else? What about some of you ladies? What was the weather like on that night?
It was raining.
Yes, it was raining,
Lightning.
thunder, lightning. Good. And how many mattresses did the queen put on the
40.
bed? 40, yes. 20 regular mattresses and 20 thin mattresses? Yes. And how did the princess wake up? Horrible. Oh, it's terrible. Black and blue, bruised all over. And green, maybe some yellow. Good, good. So I think you guys remember the story.
In today's lesson, we're going to learn about adverbs of manner. As you know, we have many different parts of speech. Parts of speech are just the kinds of words we have. We have nouns, which are objects or people. We have verbs. These are action words. We have adjectives. They describe the nouns. And today we're focusing on adverbs. Adverbs describe the action. They tell us something about the verb. And adverbs can be used to do many things, but today we're going to focus on the adverbs that tell us how something was done. You can take one action and you can do it in many different ways. For example, if you're walking, you can walk quickly, or you can walk slowly, or you can walk softly, or you can walk in a very loud way so you make a lot of noise. Sometimes we want to know how something was done. And knowing how to describe it means we can give people that information, and it also makes speaking and listening a lot more interesting. Let's join the class as they begin to learn about adverbs of manner.
So today, we're going to talk about adverbs. Can anyone tell me what is an adverb?
It's something like verb, but
That's okay. So I will walk. I'm going to walk. But I'm going to walk in different ways. So if I'm walking, how am I walking?
walking fast.
Fast. But an adverb would say, what's another word for fast? What?
Fastly.
Close. Fastly, would we say quickly? Quickly. So what if I'm walking
Slowly.
slowly? What about
Soundly.
loudly? Is that it? What if I'm walking
Quiet.
quietly? Yes. So adverbs are words that describe an action. They describe a verb. Okay? They tell you how you're doing something. So today, there's many different kinds of adverbs. But we're only going to look at adverbs that answer the question, how? Okay? So you could say, how did Miss Megan walk? You could say, differently, yes. But what? Slowly, quickly, loudly. Fastly isn't a word. We would say quickly. So could I walk gentle? Gentle would, what if you were petting a kitten? How would you pet a kitten? Gently. And it would be like that, right? Yes, like that. Okay. It doesn't look right. And what about, we have quietly. Quietly, you're tiptoeing through the house. You walk quietly. Yes.
Somebody can sleep and you have to go.
Yes.
And slowly.
Slowly. Remember if we say, Mother, may I run slowly? You could say, run slowly. Okay. What about loudly? Boom, boom, boom. Or the band played loudly, boom, 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 and they played their trumpets. Ooh, what about this word? Roughly. What does rough mean? Could mean some different things. Do you know what sandpaper is? This is smooth, this board. So if something was rough, it's hard. It's not very smooth. So here's something that's smooth, and something that's rough could be. It's rough. It doesn't feel good. Okay? Or have you ever had a kitten lick your finger? Their tongue is rough. Okay? So sometimes boys play roughly. If you wrestle, you're playing rough. Would you pet a kitten roughly? No, you would pet a kitten gently. Yes. What about, here's a word. Cheerful. How could we use that word? Cheerful. Cheerfully. How could we put cheerfully in the sentence? Yes, it does have two L's. Yes. So cheerfully you did your homework. Cheerfully you did your chores. That means happily. Yay! I get to do my chores. No. What about quickly?
Like you go in English lessons and you have to go quickly.
Yes, you're late for English classes, so you have to go fast. Quickly. Yes. And what about softly?
Like softly.
You could say
Sofa, soft sofa.
sofa is soft, but if something is softly,
Hair is soft.
is your hair softly though?
No.
No. So what about a whisper? She had to speak very softly because the baby was sleeping. So softly is like a whisper. If I'm saying I speak softly, you're whispering. Okay? So you can imagine there's an ly at the end of all of these. And gently, that y, we'll go like this. It's just like that. Okay? All right. Yes. Okay, so these were words that we're going to focus on today. And adverbs, so what do you see first that all of these words have? What is something they all have? ly. So
You saw what the teacher was showing them on the board about how to form these adverbs. Most of the time you take an adjective, add ly, and it becomes the adverb. And so we had words like quiet becomes quietly, loud becomes loudly, quick becomes quickly. Let's look at some other adverbs and adjectives, and I think we'll see there are some other things to learn. You can have a word like sudden, the adjective, becomes suddenly. Happy becomes happily. Comfortable becomes comfortably. Beautiful becomes beautifully. Warm becomes warmly. Nice becomes nicely. So did you notice that some of these had spelling changes that were a little different? We didn't just add the ly. This gives us the 4 rules for forming adverbs out of adjectives. Rule number 1, if the adjective ends with a consonant, just add ly. So loud becomes loudly. Second rule, if the adjective ends with le, like gentle, you just take out the e and put in y. So gentle becomes gently. 3, if the adjective ends with l, just add ly again. So you have 2 l's. Beautiful becomes beautifully. And number 4, if the adjective has 2 syllables and ends with a y, like happy, then change the y to an I, and then add ly. So happy becomes happily. Now there are some exceptions. Some adjectives are the same as the adverbs. A word like fast. You can have a fast car and you can drive fast. So the adjective and the adverb are the same. The same is true of a word like early. You can have an early class, or you can arrive at class early, or leave early. So the adjective and the adverb are the same in some cases. We don't change it. And then there are a few cases where the adjective already ends in ly. You can have a word like leisurely. Leisurely, it means in a relaxed way, but because it's an adjective, you can't add ly to it again. So we don't change that word, we use a phrase instead. I can have a leisurely walk, but I would walk in a leisurely manner. The phrase in a leisurely manner becomes the adverb. We don't make any other changes. All right? Well, let's join the class now as they have a little bit of fun with us. They're going to show us what some of these adverbs look like.
So I'm going to have you do an action, and we're going to guess whether you are doing it softly, quickly, loudly, quietly, gently, slowly, roughly. Okay? So remember, I showed you how to walk quickly. We are going to guess. You can do something quickly. You can do something quietly, or gently, or slowly. Okay? So would somebody like to go first? Think of an action. What can you do gently?
You can play with the dog,
Uh-huh.
or play with the
You could.
Hamster.
What?
Hamster.
A hamster. So you could pretend.
Yeah, you have a hamster.
Yes, you're petting, and we'll say you're petting something gently. Okay? Okay. So, Dima, can you think of another one and do it?
Yeah.
Okay, come up and act for us. Don't tell us what it is, but we'll guess. Okay, face that way. Is he going roughly?
no, quietly.
Quietly. Were you tiptoeing quietly? Yeah, woo, good. Does somebody have, okay, Tanya? Okay. Softly. Are you walking softly? No? Okay.
Slowly.
Oh, slowly. Oh, good, good. Okay. Are you going, what are we going to guess?
Quietly.
I don't think that's quiet. Loudly?
Yes.
Okay. What else? Do you have one? Oh, come on up. What would that be?
Quickly.
Quickly.
Yes.
Okay. Vika, Lena.